Welcome, everyone, to the Fire This Time Fireside Chat. We are so excited to have with us today Steve Harper, whose play for the dark-skinned, movie-going people of the world is going to be featured in season 14 of our 10-Minute Play Festival in January of 2023. My name is Cezar Williams, and I am the artistic director, and it is my pleasure to say, welcome, Steve!
I'm so happy to be here. This is like really, it's always great to talk to you, and I'm really excited about being in the festival this year. I'm really excited about it.
We are honored to have you. Full disclosure, everyone, Steve Harper and I have been friends for...
Oh my God, how long?
Too long. I mean, I think the year doesn't even start with a 2-0. I mean, I think it got like a 19 something. So this is a rare treat for me. Steve, I guess I want to start it off by just talking a little bit about your play for the dark-skinned, movie-going people of the world. So when we read these plays, the process is blind. So very often I don't know, and I try not to even inquire who wrote the play when we're selecting the plays.
Right.
When I did find out that you were one of the people selected and that this was your play, I was surprised, I would have to say, that you wrote a play like this. So I guess the first thing is, tell us about the play. Tell us why you wrote it. And then I'm kind of interested about the title. The title is a line in the play.
Yes, it is. So, that's right.
It's a line in the play, but I'm curious why you selected that as the title of the play.
Yeah. So this is, it's really interesting to talk about this play because part of my goal really is to allow the audience their own experience of these details and of this sort of controversy. So I sort of don't, I want to sort of not necessarily like weigh in on, which character I'm most like or anything like that. So that makes it a little bit challenging to talk about it. But this is a debate conversation that I feel like I have been in for decades.
Yes.
And, and there are people who, I think there are people who are like really into this debate and conversation. And then there are other people who are like, wait, what? What are you talking about?
Why does it matter?
Why does that matter? Like, what is that? Right. And so essentially the play for the dark-skinned movie-going people of the world is about the two characters. There's one woman, Jasmine, who is a pop singer and wants desperately to be in a movie that's being made by Carl, who is the other character in the play. And it's really a debate about sort of who should be in movies. Like, should pop stars be in movies? Should actors, how much of an actor does a pop star have to be? And what is the deal with that? Are there rules? Should there be rules? And I think one of the things that's interesting to me about this material is, on some level, this is a little bit grand to say, but on some level, like, we've been having these kinds of conversations, probably since our people were brought over here in chains. Like the whole notion of, who's the better Black person to be whatever, to be
the criteria to be excellent as a Black person.
That's right. Yes. And who gets to decide?
Yes.
And how do we have that conversation amongst ourselves? Do we have that conversation amongst ourselves? And is the fact that we're having that conversation on some level, kind of residual of slave days, like, the fact that we're pitting ourselves against each other and saying, no, I belong here. No, I belong here. Like, what's that about?
There's a certain scarcity mentality that exists that kind of feeds this type of argument. The beautiful thing you did, however, and I say this with amazement, is it's pretty even-handed. Both Carl and Jasmine have great points. So I found myself saying,
points.
You know what? Carl is right. I'm like, Jasmine has a point. Well, it seems unfair for Carl to say that. And well, actually, Carl is standing up for people like myself who've studied it, but it's really like you go through the piece, and I think people may choose a side, or they may end it feeling that both people were justified in their beliefs.
I love that you say that, because that was part of my experience of writing the play. I found that each character would convince me in a given moment. And I was sort of like, wait, what? And then I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then I'd be like, wait a minute,
Yeah.
So that was my experience going back and forth, through the characters' brains and hearts. It was
Yeah.
really interesting.
And the other thing you do so well is you kind of almost take us through, I'll say maybe the last 20, 25 years of this journey of who should be in movies and who is an actor and who isn't, almost in real time, because like I don't want to give away too much, but certain people who maybe were not originally actors, who have had success as actors, we view them with a certain reverence now,
Yes,
forgetting
right.
that when they first started, we were all like hot mess.
Yes, right. Or like, what's that person doing here, or
It's like,
whatever. Yes.
whoa, they couldn't find anybody better for this. At
Right.
first, like they're just trying
Exactly.
to get meat in the seat. But then over time, these same actors who we were all cringing, or many of us were cringing when we saw them in the movies for the first time, are now award winning. We all
Yes.
think they're wonderful actors. And when I myself am playing the game, who would I cast? These people are sometimes included in that list, which
Yes.
if I go back to, you know, uh 20 years ago, I'd be like, no way. I would have been appalled to think that this
Yeah.
person would be in anything I was working on. So it's just really, really a wonderful play that I believe the Fight Time audience is going to really dig. Like,
Yeah.
um,
I hope so. And I can't wait to kind of be in the midst of that sort of audience energy and to see and feel,
oh
sort of how the pendulum swings in this play and from the audience point of view.
yeah, the Fight Time audience is it's a community. It's a family and they act like family. So you'll know. You will definitely know.
Yeah, great.
Next question I want to ask you is what other projects are you working on at this moment? Anything you want to tell folks about to be on the lookout for?
Yeah, actually, a number of things. So I recently published an anthology of short plays that I'm super proud of, called "A Few Short Plays to Save the World," and
Yes.
you were actually helpful in helping me launch that, and I'm very excited about it.
I'm looking for my copy. We just did some moving around stuff, so our bookshelf is all
Oh
books
yeah,
around.
I have a copy that's across the room, so I'm not going to like duck out. But it's I'm really thrilled. This is 17 short plays, excuse me, that I've been working on for decades, and that have, most of which have been produced across the country. And for me, the notion of being an acting student, and looking for material had always been a really challenging thing, because we'll do, acting classes will notoriously do the classics, we'll be doing whatever, Death of a Salesman, or and not that there aren't a lot of terrific Black plays now, and certainly that they're out there. And I feel like we can always use more material and more imaginative material. So this is like stuff that's full of diverse characters, magical realism,
Yes.
Stuff that takes place in space and takes place in New York City and takes place in, all sorts of, so it's really, really fun.
That is the thing about your writing, that you write, like I love your stuff, your magical realism stuff. I love this play that's in the festival, which is not that. So yeah, you do have a wide range of work in your canon.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so I'm very proud of it. You can get the book on Amazon, bookshop.org, anywhere you can find books, you can find it. And there are also other things. I have a play called Things Are Mostly Crazy, which is another short piece that's being done at Vivid Stage in 2023 as part of one of their evenings. So I'm really excited about that. And I've got this solo show that I've been working on called Snow, which is basically the story of me getting caught in a snowstorm on a long drive between Reno and LA. And I've been working on that also, actually, with you.
Yes, so that play is absolutely wonderful. We did
thank you.
The reading that we did in LA a few weeks ago was just amazing.
It was really tremendously fun.
Like, not in a surprising way, because I thought it would be, that my hope was, but it exceeded my expectations.
I'm so glad. Yeah, mine too. It just had an energy to it.
Yeah. And I think that comes from you, your writing, your performance, all of that. So
yeah,
great work.
Thank you so much.
What is something great about you or interesting about you that very few people know?
Wow. I don't know about very few, maybe very few people today. So at one point, shortly after college, I hosted a kid show in the Baltimore area. That was, I was there for 2 years. It was a the Fox 45 Clubhouse, and it was interesting. It was my first foray into television, and I think I really gained a lot out of it because I was one of the co-hosts. It was me and another guy. The idea was we hung out in this treehouse, and we came on in between the cartoons, and we did puppets, and we did voices, and we announced birthdays, and we would appear at malls and host telethons, and we had a magazine. It was like this crazy thing. So I think that's one of the things. Like, I just got to use all parts of my brain, and the silly part and the producer part, and that was super fun. Just to use that range of me.
And that is great. And I did not know that. So thank you so much. Well, everyone, thank you so much for taking a few moments out of your day to sit with us and to spend some time with me and with Steve. Again, please come to the Farthest Time Festival at the Crane Theater this January. You will see Steve's play along with 6 other plays as part of our 10-minute festival. And thank you again. Until next time. Bye-bye.